Life is unpredictable. One moment everything seems perfect, and in the next, everything shatters. Sometimes it takes a single event to turn your entire world upside down. But let me tell you something. Life is not about what happens to you. It is about what you choose to become. We are all given this one life, a single chance to leave an impact, to create something meaningful. Yet so many of us waste it, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect version of ourselves. But what if I told you that perfection is an illusion? What if I told you that the only time you truly have is now? Do not waste your life waiting for someone to validate your dreams. Do not waste your life living in the shadows of fear, rejection, or self-doubt. You were not born to merely exist. You were born to live, to inspire, to rise above every obstacle that comes your way. Pain will come. It is inevitable. Life will throw challenges at you, but challenges are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you. Every hardship, every failure, every tear you shed is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Too many people live their lives as prisoners of their past, chained to regrets and mistakes. But tell me, how can you move forward if you are always looking back? Your past does not define you. Your courage to rise does. Your circumstances do not limit you. Your will to fight does. You may have lost something. You may have been broken. But being broken does not mean you are useless. It means you have the chance to rebuild yourself into something even more beautiful. Like a phoenix, you have the power to rise from the ashes, to turn your pain into purpose. So embrace your scars, wear them like armor, and step forward with pride. Because you are not a victim, you are a warrior. And warriors do not waste their lives, they create legacies. Life is an unpredictable journey filled with moments of joy, pain, success, and failure. But one fundamental truth remains unchanged. It is not your circumstances that define you. It is the choices you make in response to them. Too often, people believe that their past, their struggles, or their environment determine their destiny. They allow external factors to dictate their self-worth and potential. But the reality is, no matter how difficult a situation, you always have a choice. What happens to you is often beyond your control, but how you perceive it and respond to it is entirely in your hands. Two people can go through the exact same hardship. One may crumble under its weight, while the other may rise stronger. What makes the difference? When life knocks you down, you can choose to see yourself as a victim, blaming circumstances, society, or fate, or you can choose to take charge of your life, refusing to let adversity dictate your future. This does not mean ignoring pain or struggle. Rather, it means recognizing that your power lies in how you react to them. It is easy to say, I had no choice, life has been unfair to me, or if only I had better opportunities. But while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can control your response. Every great achiever in history has faced hardships, failures, and setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not luck, it is persistence, resilience, and choice. Think about someone born into poverty. Some may accept it as their fate and spend life complaining, while others will fight relentlessly, using every available resource to rise above their conditions. It is never about where you start. It is about the effort you put in and the mindset you cultivate. If you continuously blame your circumstances, you give away your power. But the moment you decide to take responsibility, no matter how unfair life has been, you reclaim control. You take back your ability to shape your destiny. Many people believe that failure is proof that they are not good enough. They let one setback define their entire journey. But failure is just feedback. It is life's way of teaching you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. The choice is yours. Will you let failure stop you, or will you use it as fuel to push forward? Every successful person has faced rejection, defeat, and failure. The difference is they chose to keep going. They chose to see obstacles as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. Your dreams don't die when you fail. They die when you stop trying. Difficulties in life are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to test you, to show you what you are truly capable of. Some of the most inspiring people in the world have come from the most challenging backgrounds. They did not let their struggles define them. Instead, they made a choice to turn their pain into power, their setbacks into comebacks. Imagine a person who loses everything, their job, their home, their loved ones. They have two choices: to give up and let life defeat them, or to stand up, fight back, and rebuild. The world is full of examples of people who have faced unimaginable hardships but chose to keep going. If they can do it, so can you. No matter what you have been through, no matter where you are right now, remember that your future is shaped by the choices you make today. Will you let your past hold you back, or will you use it as a lesson? Will you let fear stop you, or will you push through despite it? Every day you have a choice to take a step forward, even if it's a small one, or to remain stuck in the same place. You can choose to wake up with gratitude, to learn from failures, to surround yourself with positivity, and to chase your dreams despite the odds. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your decisions. So choose wisely. Choose courage over fear, perseverance over defeat, and hope over despair. Because life is not about what happens to you. It is about what you choose to become. Too often we fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect version of ourselves, the perfect conditions to take a step forward. But what if I told you that perfection is nothing more than an illusion? It's a mirage that keeps moving further away the closer you think you get to it. And while you wait for that ideal time to come, life keeps passing you by. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe in the idea of perfection. Society tells us that success means having everything figured out, that happiness comes when we reach a specific milestone, and that we must meet certain standards before we can truly begin living. But in reality, perfection is unattainable. It is a constantly shifting goalpost that no one ever reaches. The truth is, there is no perfect moment, no perfect job, no perfect relationship, no perfect version of you. Every successful person you admire, every inspiring story you hear, comes from people who started before they felt ready. They didn't wait for all the conditions to be favorable. They took action despite uncertainty, despite fear, and despite imperfection. One of the biggest reasons people waste their lives is because they fear imperfection. They think, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if people judge me? These fears keep us stuck in a cycle of overthinking, waiting, and ultimately doing nothing. But let's pause and ask, what is the cost of waiting? Every moment spent waiting for perfection is a moment lost. It's a dream delayed. It's an opportunity missed. Life doesn't stop for you to gather courage. It moves forward whether you take action or not. The fear of imperfection has stolen more dreams than failure ever has. The biggest regret people have at the end of their lives is not the mistakes they made, but the chances they never took. If you truly want to move forward, you have to embrace imperfection. You have to accept that things won't always go as planned, and that's okay. Progress is better than perfection, and taking imperfect action is the only way to grow. Look at any great artist, writer, entrepreneur, or leader. Their first attempt was never their best work. Their first step was never perfect. But they started anyway. They learned, they improved, and they became better with time. Take the example of a child learning to walk. The child doesn't wait until they know how to run before taking their first step. They stumble, they fall, but they keep getting up. And that's exactly how success in life works. We often fool ourselves into thinking we have time. We say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll wait for the right time, or I'll do it when I feel more prepared. But the truth is, the only time we truly have is now. If you have a dream, start working on it today. If you want to learn something new, start now. If you want to make a change in your life, don't wait for a magical moment. Create that moment yourself. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had everything figured out. They are the ones who started despite not knowing everything. They took risks, made mistakes, learned from them, and kept moving forward. What if instead of fearing imperfection, you embraced it? What if you saw your flaws not as weaknesses, but as unique parts of your journey? Some of the most beautiful things in life come from imperfections. A cracked piece of pottery repaired with gold becomes even more valuable, a practice known as kintsugi in Japanese culture. Similarly, your imperfections, your struggles, and your scars add to your story. They make you who you are. Instead of waiting for perfection, embrace progress. Instead of fearing failure, welcome growth. Instead of waiting for the right time, take action now. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how perfect you were, it's about how much you lived, how much you tried, and how much you grew. So don't waste another moment chasing an illusion. Start where you are, use what you have, and take the first step today. Life is never a smooth journey. It is filled with unexpected twists, heartbreaking losses, and moments of deep despair. But what if I told you that every hardship you have faced, every moment of struggle, and every failure you have endured was not meant to break you, but to build you? We often view challenges as setbacks, as painful roadblocks that stop us from moving forward. But in reality, challenges are hidden lessons, tests that shape us into the people we are meant to become. Think of a seed buried deep in the ground. It faces darkness, pressure, and isolation. But through these struggles, it grows, pushing through the soil to become a strong and mighty tree. In the same way, life's struggles are not there to drown you, they are there to strengthen you. Difficulties in life are not punishments. They are opportunities to grow. Without them, we remain stagnant, never evolving, never discovering our true strength. Imagine a world where everything was easy, where there were no failures, no obstacles, and no struggles. Would you ever learn patience? Would you ever know the value of resilience? Would you ever discover your own inner power? Think about the strongest, most inspiring people you know. Are they strong because they have never faced hardship, or are they strong because they refused to let hardship defeat them? Every time you overcome a challenge, you become wiser, more resilient, and more prepared for whatever life throws your way. One of the biggest fears we have is the fear of failure. We hesitate to take risks because we are terrified of falling, of losing, of not being enough. But failure is not a sign that you should give up. It is a sign that you are growing. Every successful person in the world has failed multiple times. But what sets them apart is that they never let failure define them. They saw each failure as a stepping stone, as a lesson, as a push towards something greater. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. Think of Oprah Winfrey, who was once told she was unfit for television. Think of great leaders, thinkers, and innovators. All of them faced rejection, humiliation, and defeat, but they turned their struggles into fuel for success. So, when life knocks you down, don't see it as the end of your journey. See it as the beginning of a new path, a new opportunity to rise stronger, than before. No one wants to experience pain. It is uncomfortable, heartbreaking, and often unbearable. But pain has a purpose. It teaches you what happiness feels like. It pushes you to grow, and it reveals your true potential. Imagine a person who never experienced loss. Would they ever truly understand the value of love? Imagine someone who never faced struggles. Would they ever appreciate success? Pain allows us to cherish joy, to develop gratitude, and to become more compassionate human beings. Strength does not come from easy times. It comes from the moments you thought you wouldn't survive but did. Every scar, every tear, every difficult moment you have endured is proof that you are stronger than you think. Have you ever faced something so difficult that you thought it was the end of the world, only to realize later that it was actually a blessing in disguise? Sometimes the worst moments in life push us toward the greatest transformations. A failed relationship can lead to self-discovery. A job loss can open the door to a better opportunity. A personal setback can push you to grow in ways you never imagined. The hardest battles often lead to the most beautiful victories. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask yourself, "What is this trying to teach me?" Every challenge carries a lesson, and the moment you embrace it, you take control of your own growth. Life will never be free of struggles. But challenges are not meant to destroy you, they are meant to strengthen you, to shape you into the person you are destined to be. So embrace every difficulty, learn from every failure, and remember, your struggles are not signs of weakness, they are proof of your incredible strength. Too often, people live as prisoners of their past, trapped by memories of failures, regrets, and mistakes. They replay moments of pain, disappointment, and loss like a broken record, convincing themselves that they are unworthy of happiness or success. But let me tell you this, your past is just a story. It is a chapter in your book, not the whole book itself. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the heartbreak, the rejection, or the setbacks you have faced. You are far more than that. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It keeps you anchored in the past, making it impossible to move forward. But ask yourself, what purpose does regret serve? Can it undo what has been done? Can it change the past? The answer is no. Regret only drains your energy and keeps you from embracing the opportunities that lie ahead. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what can go right. Every regret can become a lesson, and every mistake can be a stepping stone to something greater. Life is a journey of learning. Every experience, good or bad, teaches you something valuable. The pain you endured, the failures you faced, and the struggles you overcame were never meant to break you. They were meant to shape you. Think of the most successful people in the world. Have they never failed? Have they never faced rejection or loss? Of course they have. But what sets them apart is that they refuse to let their past define them. Instead, they learned from their experiences and used them as fuel to move forward. One of the hardest but most powerful things you can do is to forgive. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing someone's actions, but it means releasing yourself from the pain they have caused. Holding on to anger, resentment, or guilt only hurts you, not the person who wronged you. The same goes for forgiving yourself. Too many people punish themselves for their past mistakes, believing they don't deserve happiness. But tell me, how can you move forward when you are constantly punishing yourself for something you cannot change? You must allow yourself to heal. You must give yourself permission to grow beyond your past. You are the author of your own story. If you do not like the way it has been written so far, pick up the pen and write a new chapter. No one else has the power to define you unless you give it to them. Do not let past failures convince you that you are not capable of success. Do not let past heartbreaks convince you that you are not worthy of love. Do not let past struggles convince you that you will never find peace. It is never too late to change. It is never too late to start over. Your past may have been painful, but it does not have to dictate your future. You are in control of your destiny. Every day is a new opportunity to become the person you were always meant to be. Your scars tell a story, but they do not define who you are. They are a reminder of what you have endured, how strong you have been, and how far you have come. Do not hide them in shame. Wear them like armor. Let them be a testament to your resilience. Let them show the world that you did not give up, that you did not let your past destroy you. Scars do not mean you are broken. They mean you have survived. And survival is not just about getting through the storm, it is about learning to dance in the rain. There will always be people who try to remind you of your past, who try to hold you back with their words or judgments. But their words do not define you, your actions do. Do not let the voices of doubt drown out the voice of your potential. Surround yourself with people who believe in your growth, who uplift you, and who remind you of your worth. Every great person has a past. Every strong person has a painful story, but the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is simple. Those who rise refuse to let their past control them. They use their experiences as fuel to build a brighter future. So let go of what no longer serves you. Release the weight of regret. Learn from your mistakes, but do not be chained by them. Your past is not your prison. It is your foundation. And from that foundation, you can build something extraordinary. Life is not meant to be free of struggles. Pain is a part of the journey, and at some point everyone experiences it, whether it comes from failure, heartbreak, rejection, loss, or unexpected challenges. However, what separates those who thrive from those who remain stuck is the way they respond to that pain. Some allow it to consume them, making them bitter, resentful, and hopeless. Others take that same pain and turn it into fuel for growth, transformation, and inspiration. That is the power of turning pain into purpose. Pain has a way of breaking us open. It forces us to confront our deepest fears, weaknesses, and insecurities. It challenges us to ask ourselves difficult questions. Why is this happening to me? What can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? When we stop resisting pain and start embracing it as a teacher, it transforms into something meaningful. It helps us develop resilience, wisdom, and compassion. It makes us more empathetic toward others who are struggling, and it allows us to connect with people on a deeper level. Instead of being a burden, pain becomes a stepping stone toward a higher purpose. Many of the world's most inspiring individuals have endured unimaginable suffering. From survivors of trauma to those who have faced life-altering disabilities, their stories are not defined by the pain they experienced, but by how they turned that pain into something greater than themselves. Take a moment to reflect. Think of all the hardships you've faced in life, the times when you felt lost, broken, or defeated. Did those moments destroy you, or did they shape you into a stronger person? Every setback you have endured has prepared you for a comeback. Every scar you carry is proof that you have survived, and that survival in itself is a testimony of your strength. Pain does not make you weak, it makes you powerful. But that power is only useful if you channel it into something greater, something that not only lifts you, but also lifts others. The process of turning pain into purpose starts with one simple but profound decision. You must choose to rise above it. That choice is not always easy, and it often requires time, reflection, and healing. However, once you commit to it, you begin to see pain not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity. Here are some ways to turn your pain pain into purpose. Your journey, with all its struggles and victories, has the power to inspire others. When you open up about your pain, you give others permission to do the same. You let them know they are not alone and that healing is possible. Whether you share your story through writing, speaking, or simply opening up to a friend, your vulnerability can be a source of strength for others. One of the most fulfilling ways to transform pain is by using your experience to support others who are going through similar challenges. Whether through volunteering, mentoring, or simply offering a listening ear, your presence and understanding can bring comfort and hope to those in need. Many people who have faced hardships find solace and purpose in creative expression, whether it's through art, music, writing, or even building a business that helps others. Channeling pain into creativity allows you to turn suffering into something beautiful and impactful. Instead of letting past wounds hold you back, let them push you forward. If life has knocked you down, stand back up stronger than before. Use the pain as motivation to grow, to achieve your dreams, and to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Holding on to resentment, guilt, or anger only prolongs suffering. True transformation comes when you learn to let go and forgive, not just others, but also yourself. Healing is a journey, and while pain may leave scars, those scars can serve as reminders of how far you have come. At first, this might sound strange. How can pain be a gift? But if you look closely, you'll realize that some of the most profound personal growth happens during times of struggle. Pain forces you to become more self-aware, to dig deep into your soul, and to reevaluate what truly matters. It humbles you, teaches you patience, and strengthens your character. When you embrace pain instead of fearing it, you unlock its hidden power. You begin to see that pain is not something to be ashamed of or something to hide. Instead, it becomes a guiding force, leading you toward a life filled with meaning, passion, and purpose. The truth is, life is short. Wasting it by dwelling on pain, regretting the past, or feeling sorry for yourself only robs you of the beauty that still exists. The world needs people who have walked through fire and emerged stronger. The world needs your story, your resilience, and your light. So, don't let your pain go to waste. Don't let it define you in a negative way. Instead, let it shape you into someone extraordinary. Let it fuel your dreams, inspire your actions, and help others find their own path to healing. Because when you turn pain into purpose, you don't just change your own life, you change the world.